Well, I'm doubly excited today to invite a very special person into our program this morning. Two reasons. First of all, I have to tell you she's my granddaughter. And secondly, she is a new author that has come up with a very exciting book. I've read the book. It's just unbelievable. And I say that not because she's my granddaughter, but the mere fact that she's really a very talented lady. So let me welcome Lindsay Mead to WBCH. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Grandpa. Hi, everybody.
Well, let me ask you this. You graduated from Hastings High School.
I did in 2004.
And you've always wanted to be an author. When did this really come to light? When did it really set in that you wanted to be an author and come up with some really exciting books?
Well, it kind of happened slowly throughout my life. Like, I started writing since before I can remember. Like, I didn't even realize I'd written this much when I was younger until I started going through this stuff that my mother had held for me all these years, and I saw these young reader awards and stuff like that. So I'm like, wow, I actually wrote a lot when I was a kid, and I don't even remember that. But then it wasn't actually, I started writing my own books and stuff just for fun and never actually considered it to be a career possibility. And it wasn't until, I don't know, maybe, I want to say 6 years ago, it might have been a little bit more than that, but I started reading a book called Inspiration, Finding Your Ultimate Call, I think, something like that, and it was by Dr. Wayne Dyer, and it talks about looking at your family, looking at where you grew up, and your hobbies and your interests, and using that to kind of figure out what you want to do with your life. And it wasn't until maybe a week after reading that book that everything kind of fell into place, and I realized I wanted to write books for a living, and that would make me the happiest to do that. So then I set out to do just that, and it took me a while to learn the craft and really fine-tune it, but I eventually got there.
You probably had some help along the way thinking about being an author. Did you talk to individuals who are already in the publishing business? You must have had some help along the way, or did you do this all on your own?
No, I talked to a lot of people. I was fortunate enough to discover YouTube and all the communities that are on YouTube. And there's a lot of book people that make videos and stuff and put them on YouTube. And there's a lot of blogs out there on the internet too, where people talk about books and things. And I started posting my own videos, reviewing books and showing the books that I bought, and started making connections and started finding all these different authors that had different accounts in various places on the internet, started reading what they were writing. I met the lovely Trisha Wolf, who's also an author, and I dedicate my series to her. Meeting her was just kind of amazing because I just wanted to make this banner for my blog. And I emailed her and said, hey, how did you do this on yours? And that just struck up a friendship. And we started talking about writing, and I ended up sending her my manuscript, and she told me, okay, you need to cut out 10,000 words, and you need to do all this stuff with it. And she really taught me how to write a story and to tell a story. And I've had many other influences throughout my life besides that, but she was definitely the biggest, especially with completing this specific novel.
And the story you have come up with is really a very exciting story. The book is called The Beast. Tell us about The Beast.
Well, The Beast is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. It is a young adult novel. In a nutshell, Belle is a hunter, and she has a whole group of hunters, and they hunt hellhounds. The neighboring kingdom has been cursed, and they've been turned into hellhounds, and their job is to kill them and protect their small village. And more happens beyond that because they discover that things aren't quite what they thought they were. But it follows kind of the framework of Beauty and the Beast, and lots of action and romance and intense things happen.
Where does this take place?
It takes place in a place called God's Cup. It's an island made up of 3 different provinces. There's an English province and a French province, which is where Belle lives. And then there's the kingdom to the north of them called Bakrafell, which is a Norwegian country, I suppose is what you would say. They're no longer affiliated, but it's complicated. When you read the book, you'll understand that a bit more. But yeah, it's not a real place. Hopefully it convinces you that it's a real place, but it's not a real place. And it's very snowy and cold, and it takes place in the Victorian era, the 19th century, right on the beginning of a technological boom. So you have lots of steampunk inventions and really cool things like that.
Is there anything evil in this book?
Evil? Yeah, I would say there's evil things. There's lots of different elements. Belle works for the church, and the church is kind of conflicted on how they feel about Belle working for them, because some of them are very strict on the policy of not having a female hunter, and some are like, you know, we respect her for making this decision and making this sacrifice in her life, and that plays a pretty big part. So not necessarily pure evil in that scenario, but some confliction there. And then of course there's the big bad in the story that is out to wreak havoc and destroy the world and all that stuff. And yeah, I guess you could say that's the pure evil of the story.
Well, we don't want to give away the whole plot to the story, because then it would kind of be a disappointment to people. So we're just going to keep that part a secret. But let me ask you this, is there any kind of a love story here?
Oh yeah, it wouldn't be Beauty and the Beast if there wasn't a love story. Oh boy, I don't know how to say this without giving things away, but I mean, there is the classic character of Gaston in the story, and there's something going on there between him and Belle. He's not the Gaston that you probably know. He's definitely different. And then there is the prince on the other side of the story that, you know, has his own thing going on, and maybe there's something that goes on between Belle and him. So yeah, there's definitely romance. I would not say that the story is completely romance centered, and I think some people will expect that, because a lot of books are that way, but it focuses more on the plot and on the action and things moving forward, whereas the romance is more of a subplot, but it is definitely there, and it definitely becomes epic, especially as the series goes on.
Now, I understand there are more books to come that follow right along with what we have in our first publication here called The Beast. How many more publications?
Right now it's planned to be 4 books, and the second book is called The Beauty, and that should be coming out here pretty soon. I can't give you a specific date, but it's just about finished. We're very, very close. There's also going to be a spin-off novel following a side character, and that will be a retelling of Anna and the King. But that won't be till I'm done.
And where can we buy The Beast?
You can buy The Beast at Amazon.com and Barnes & Noble. You can get it in ebook form or in paperback. And I do believe that if you go to the Barnes & Noble at the Lakeview Square Mall in Battle Creek, Michigan, you can get some signed copies.
Well, Lindsay, that is exciting. Obviously, you know that your grandfather is very proud.
Well, thank you.
And we wish you all the best, but like I said, you know, maybe someday I'll say, you know, that's my granddaughter. I knew her before she was rich.
Well, I would love that scenario. I hope that happens.
Well, I do want to thank you very much. I know you're a busy young lady, and thanks a lot for coming over here at BCH Radio and spending some time with me. And it's always a pleasure to have a few minutes to spend with you. And I'm all really excited about your book.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Thank you for having me out here to do this, and thank you to everybody who's listening and goes out and buys my book. And let me know if you love it. If you don't love it, I don't want to hear from you. But otherwise, let me know.
Spoken like a true author.
Yes, thank you guys so much. Good?
Yeah, very good.
Okay.
Excellent. Excellent.
I was so nervous.
No, you did a wonderful job.
So this is the area where we're going to be recording. There's a couple of different studios. This is the one we're going to be recording in. I'm like, this is really, really cool. Very neat. So I'm talking to the microphone.
2 reasons. Now I'm going to show you how we edit this a little bit. We can take that pause right out of there, like so.
Nice.
And we can take that pause right out of there. So now we'll give you